Hi everyone, and welcome to Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig. My name is Leslie Ray, and this is a special edition Crafty Gig because I'm going to be out of town on Friday, and I still wanted to stream because I had stuff to share, and I wanted to share it. So here I am, and it's kind of crazy. I couldn't see the folks over here a while ago, but guess what? Now I am. Crafty T is Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. I'm not going to touch my chat because I don't know. It may be chat from 5 years ago. But it looks like some of my regulars are in the room. If you're in there, if you want to say hey, say hey. I know Mommy's there watching, but she can't get into the chat either. It took a long time, Mommy, but it's in there. But I see... Right now I see Susan and Cheryl and Amanda. Like I was saying earlier, my peeps are out of town, and so I got mail today. Oh, well, y'all didn't need to know exactly where I lived, right? Send mail. Sorry, guys. But Sam got a message from me. Hi, Jen. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday to your man. And I'll say hi. We'll say happy anniversary to her again in a second. And I got mail from Sam. So Sam is around. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. This is what was in my envelope. Let me see if y'all can see that. It's in my envelope. And... it's from Sam. Aww. I love it. You're trying to watch from the ball fields? Sam does fun stuff. Sometimes she actually embellishes the covers. Mom said she was having trouble getting her to do that earlier, so. But I love it, Sam. Thank you for my note. So, very cool, very cool. I sent her a card, and I sent her some silly putty and some really cute fabric. Our Walmart changed how they are doing things, and so I went by there, and their crafting section is all different now, and they have fat quarters for sale, and I found a really cute fat quarter for her that had nothing but whatchamacallits, little kitties all over it. It was very, very cute. So I was very excited. But today I have been crafting like a maniac. A maniac. I've been crafting all week like a maniac. I have a blog hop going on right now. It's Leslie Ray's Red, White, Blue Summer Steampunk Celebration blog hop. And lots of people in the room and in my group are in it. And this is what I made for the Viva Las Vegas Stamps blog, because we have the Viva Las Vegas Stamps blog on this blog hop. And what I used is some of their new plates. You see that yummy doily? That is so cool. And then these little pieces down here. Those are lots of fun. Those are some pen nibs. And then you've seen me use these letters. You know how I love the letters. And then they're stamped also with the gear stamp that I also love, love, love. And then I think under my finger you can kind of see right here the end of the steam engine. Some people are going to think all I have are steam engines and gears and little letters. But you know what? I like it, and I like that it's red, white, and blue. I used, of course, fired brick and faded jeans on there to get the red and the blue. And the silver is the silver pearl from Terry Sproul's Mixers. And I just got that on there by stamping some watermark pad, the Versamark watermark pad, and pouncing on some stuff. We may play with that in a minute. But what I wanted to start with is what I made for my blog hop on my blog. And these are fun. You tie them on your wrist. Have y'all seen these? And you just tie them on. This one goes this way because I wanted the dots to show. These are super, super simple to make. And I'm going to make one with the big stuff. But at the Dollar Tree, you can buy a package like this for $1. I don't know how many come in here because I didn't count them all. But there's tons of them. And I think it would be fun to use the little bitty ones and make a ring. A ring. Hi, Dee Dee. I'm sorry. It's been a pill for everybody. Did you want to see my tag again, Dee Dee, or did you look at it on the blog? Did you see my tag? And look, the doily stamps, really nice. Really, really nice. Really nice. And it's a free container too. You're right, Susan, because it's cute. Look, it's got all these little spaces, and it's very cute. So I want to show you how to make the ribbon bracelets though, because these are so easy, and so much fun. So I have this thing for washers. You know that. Those of you who know me know I have a thing for washers. Sorry. Did I mention I had been crafting? I've been crafting. Okay. So I have a thing for washers, and so I go to the Tractor Supply often and buy washers. Can you imagine making one giant one? Oh my goodness. That would be crazy. And a long time ago, I took and made some molds of the washers so that I could have them for lots of different things. And I say that's a cool way to do it. Okay, let's do those 6, 7. Ooh, 8. We have 8 that size. We're going to use that one. And I could make some lighter washers because washer jewelry can get pretty heavy if you're not careful. Okay, so we're going to use these 8 and pick a ribbon that will go through it. Your ribbon can be just a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. Okay, I used the blue earlier. I have some lovely, ooh, I know what. This will be fun. Sam will want this. I think this will be a lot of fun. Some cheetah. I am a craft tornado. Thanks, Susan. I am a craft tornado. I sat down last night and wrote down all the projects I have between this weekend and next, and I'm tired. I'm very, very tired just looking at my list. It's crazy. So I don't want to think about my list. I don't even want to work on my list for just the show tonight. I just want to have fun, and I want to make some more of these washer things because I think these are a lot of fun. Now, I have not, admittedly, done this with a kind of a plush ribbon. This ribbon is a little bit plush. It has a definite good side and bad side. And I'm going to cut it right here because it's sticky right there. And I don't want to have the sticky be in my way. Okay. I know. I love this ribbon. I got this ribbon at Christmas. It was in one of my boxes of stuff. My mom has, for the last couple of years, taken and wrapped a bunch of crafty things in my in like a photo box. And I love it because it is really, really handy for Christmas, because all of my stuff fits in it. It gets nice and wrapped. And then I have the photo box to use afterwards. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alright. Now, if you haven't looked closely at washers, washers have a right side and a wrong side. The right side is kind of rounded on the edges. See that? The wrong side is the side that they got punched out from. They got punched this way. So the punch came down, and this is the harsh side, the side that's got a kind of a little lip, a little flat edge. Okay. For this, I want all of my washers to face the same way, just for a design effect. If you don't care, then you can have them go in, you can have them go different ways. Alright? I've got crafty hands too. Okay, so in order for this to work, when you want them to go the same way, the first one, you're going to put your ribbon up through. Okay? This is my first washer. Go up. Your screen keeps going. You have to keep tapping your screen. Okay. So that's that one. Now the second one, make it go down. So see, this is the wrong side, and I'm going to go up through it like this. Okay? So now the two good sides face each other. Okay? Are y'all following me? The two good sides face each other. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and keep my ribbon going the same direction. I'm going to push it back through the hole. And then when I do this, watch this. See him coming on over? He lays the right direction. Y'all need to see that again? He was this way. Here he is, coming down, and he lays back over the right direction. Okay? And now you come up here. And I'm kind of pulling it snug so that it's going to look really, really sharp, I think. So now, and you just keep doing that over and over again. So I'm going to put this, this is the good side. I'm going to put it through good side to bad side. I'm going to go back through the washer below. And this is why I have my pliers nearby, so I can press or push that through if I need to. Okay. And then come back up through here. See how easy that is? Doesn't it make you want to just like run out and buy washers? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I really like these with the red, white, and the blue. On that one with the stars. I think it looks really festive. I think Amanda said, or somebody said that these would be really cool. Dee Dee said them, to color them with alcohol inks. I think that would be fantastic. I also think it would be very cool to get out your metal stamping set. One of my my mixed media friends and social media friends, Teresa, has been doing a lot of stamping, and wouldn't it be cool to just stamp little things along the edge? There's lots of cool stuff you can do with this. Get a really big one. You can stamp all kinds of things. But keep this in mind, guys. The bigger the metal, the heavier the bracelet. So you don't want to get too carried away with what you're making your bracelet with, because it can be really, really heavy. Like these 7 are going to be pretty heavy. Now, some other things you could push through here. You could tear strips of some really fun fabric and thread that through here and kind of leave it, you know, how when you tear strips it has the fraying going on. I think that would be very cool through here. Some fun yarn, I think, would be very cool through here. Just trying to think what else. Obviously, ribbon. I mean, because, you know, ribbon comes in all kinds of cool varieties and stuff. I guess my chat froze again, because that's the way chat is. If my chat freezes and y'all are talking to me and it's obvious I'm not talking to you, again, please, someone who has my number, just call me or text me. I promise I'm not trying to ignore questions. I'm kind of going back in here and tightening up some of these to kind of help make them be a little snugger. You can loosen them a little bit so they're not so tight. And I think I want it just a little bit loose so it'll make that curve around my wrist a little better. So that's why I'm pulling on some and loosening some others. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go back in here. And I like to end it on an odd number. I have 8 washers here. We could do 8 if you wanted to, but I kind of like the odd number. And so I'm going to end with this 7. And when I end it, I'm going to go back up through it one more time, just like I was fixing to add on another piece. So now I have my cheetah print washer bracelet. Love it. And look how quick that came together. Now you could go all the way around. Here's my thoughts on not to go all the way around. Because if I was wearing this at work, going the rest of the way around would be very clunky, and I would be hitting it on things, and it would start hurting my wrist. If you don't care about stuff like that, then go for it. Go all the way around, tie that puppy off, make it yours. I am going to... I left mine alone for the red, white, and blue because I thought, well, I could just tie a bow or a little thing. But the more I think about it, I may get some like ribbon ends and put just, you know, a regular clasp on the end of them to make them simple. I think Sam I Am will like this one. We're having chat server errors is what my my gizmo has decided to tell me. So I'm without chat. So there you go. That is the official word. I'm officially without chat. Woohoo! So there's that. So if you have any questions, please type them in the chat if you have chat, and I will answer them if somebody can inbox me. If not, you know, email me. My email is leslierahye, leslierahye @nctv.com. So leslierahye at nctv.com. Or even put the question in the bottom after this video, because I'm going to save the video, and you can ask your questions there. And I do look back and check those. So, this one, lots of fun on my red, white, and blue blog hop. I really love this one. I think I'm going to wear this to the next crafty sale show thing that I do at the museum. Love that one. So, that's one fun thing I've been working on. Now, another fun thing I have been working on, which I haven't shared with anybody yet, is playing with these wonderful collage images. And these are from alteredpages.com. This sheet was Vintage Americana. And I don't know how many of you have played with the Tim Holtz charm fragments. These are nice and big. They have little ones too. They have little ones like this size. These are itsy bitsy. I mean, they would make cute little striped pieces or whatever. I'm not sure I want to mess with the itsy bitsy ones. I want to mess with the bigger ones. And one of the fun things to do is you could make your little bracelet and then make a charm to go with it. And you could find, I think I liked maybe this one so you could see more of his outfit. Like that. Or her face. And this paper that I have it on, I printed, it's a piece of basil cardstock. And if you look at it, it has like a texture to it. Like as in for, this is what basil cardstock does, is it has this texture anyway. And it looks almost like it was printed on canvas. I love that look. And so that's why I kept it that way. So that was on purpose. But I need a new one of these. So, I was talking to somebody the other day and they said their crystal lacquer came to them glued to the lid. That one may very well be that way. I hope not. We will find out sooner or later. I'm going to go with the one that is not glued to the lid. And what that means is during shipment, this little piece of padding here, or whatever you want to call it, this seal came off. So, I'm going to ask a question, but there's nobody to answer it. My question is, if you've ever played with the charms, have you ever made actual charms with them? And if you haven't, this is a very simple way to make charms. And you would use the same technique if you were doing glass or like a slide. They have tons of slide image sheets at alteredpages.com. And you could use the same technique for that to make a slide. And what I like to do is wipe off my charm because I never know where it's been. And I put a little crystal lacquer on here. This could also work if you're a glossy accents person or a diamond glaze person. This could work with that. And then you put it on the image you want to stick it to. And this dries almost immediately. Like I'm pushing and it's dry. And so now that 4 is going to make a little charm. Now, I could go ahead and just, cut around this, but it has just a little bit more drying to do, but it's pretty good and stuck there. And so I'm going to leave it right where it is and attach some other of these charms. Because what I want to do with these charms is make some charms for some bookmarks that I have. Or I could also make some quick little 4th of July necklaces and use them with ribbons and that kind of thing. But I tend to, if I'm using a paper that I really, really love, like a scrapbook paper that I really, really love, and I have just a little bit of a remnant left. They make fragments that aren't charms also. They're just square without the little hole part at the top. I take out some of those, or some microscope slides, or some little pieces of acrylic. If you just have some acrylic paper, or some acrylic like for, you know, that you've done some die cutting out of and you just have some little shapes. I take it, and especially if it's a particular paper that I really, really like, and I do a bunch of these on it and cut them out, and I have, I should have pulled out my little baggie. I have a little baggie that I keep those in, so that if I'm doing a crafty project and there's, you know, something I want to use it on, I have these interesting little shapes that I can then use for scrapbooking or for, you know, card making or whatever. I really like that trio right there. I'm going to do them. I'm doing them next. So, and I really like these digital images. I've used 2 of them already for some ATCs that I did. And so I don't want to just waste the rest of this digi-stamp. And I don't feel like making more Americana type ATCs today. So I'm going to go ahead and make some of these. Because my brain is thinking, what do I want to take to the craft show on June 30th that I could sell? It's before 4th of July. So if I had these little charms made into necklaces or bracelets or something like that, or cards, anything like that, then that would be super duper cool. Don't you think? Now, the next thought is, how would you back them? Well, probably what I would do is either, after I cut this out, either cut another piece out that is very similar to this stripe and, you know, just have a plain backing. I have a tutorial on my blog on how to create paper to match your digital images. It's a script download file, and what you could do is pull these images onto your computer and pull the colors out of them with your color finding tool and make it to match it exactly, which is one of my favorite techniques. I do that a lot with photos. Like if I'm making a Mother's Day bracelet or something like that, I have a, like for instance, my mom's bracelet is up here somewhere. Hang on, because I'm supposed to repair it. There it is. It's under there. Here's my mom's bracelet, and this is what I did with it. Is I took the colors that were in the images and made paper on the back. So Alright. I think I've got about all I want to collect on these. Yeah, that's kind of big. Yeah, I mean, because I could get a partial flag. I don't know, though, that I would want a partial flag or that I would use a partial flag. I don't know. That one I could probably do. Let's do this one. Is everybody doing okay? I haven't heard my noise go off. I guess y'all are doing okay. Oh! Nope. That was not one of y'all. It went off. It was something else. So, here, I'll tell y'all some funny stories while I'm crafting. So I get a call. Well, I get a text first. Every morning from Monday on, Will has been getting up. I thought he was getting up at like 6. Or getting up in time to be up at 6. So that he could go do the polar bear task. Now, keep in mind, we're in Texas. It's 90 some odd degrees. So, polar bear in Texas is not quite like polar bear, say, in Michigan. Okay? It's just not. It's not going to be. Nobody should ever think it is. It's just not. But, it's right cold. Trust me. To go jumping in the water in the pool. Because they have a pool at this camp. They have lake front over at the state park that's right beside it, but they also have a pool at this camp. It's cold enough, so they are jumping in the pool and having a good time, and they've been doing this since Monday, and then they stay up all day, got all their classes. And Will is having, he's doing sailing, rowing, and canoeing. So 3 waterfront classes, right? And then he's got horsemanship and a wilderness survival class. And in all of these classes, they always talk about the first aid and safety of doing the task they're about to do and all that kind of stuff. So he's done waterfront safety and the safety afloat, BSA safety afloat guidelines, like, until he probably has them so committed to memory, it's not even funny. And then he does, like, I looked up the tasks that they have to do to complete these merit badges, and they are insane. There's so many tasks for each one of these water things. But he's doing it times 3. And then, he has his other 2 classes. So, and then he's getting up in the morning for the polar bear swim. And then they probably have, like, free swim time also. And so, start his morning in the water, get up, do flags, go to breakfast, get carted over to the lake, do water for 3 hours or so, come back, do lunch, do his next classes, go have free swim in the afternoon, and then supper and, whatever. So he's done this for 3 days now. At lunch, I get a call, and he had a rough day today. They were sinking their canoe for part of the canoeing one, and when they went to flip it over, he broke his glasses. They're kind of fixed right now. They took them and tacked them together. I guess they welded them or something. And so they're fixed for him so he can be fine during the rest of summer camp. But, yeah. So he's broken his glasses. So he calls me. And the first things out of his mouth are not, Mom, I love you, I miss you, or anything like that. It's, Mom, I'm tired of water. I'm so tired of water. So poor Boo Boo is worn out, tired of water. So, bless his fuzzy little heart. He's so funny. And I said, but are you having fun? He goes, yeah. And he got to get on a horse yesterday, which he's been on ponies. But Bill and I were talking, you know, in his 12 years, and this is what's really weird, is as many friends as we have with horses and stuff, he's never ridden a horse. And so he got to get on a horse today, and he loves it, or yesterday, and he loves it. He got to get on it again today. I haven't talked to him this afternoon, but he loves it. He said it was great. So he's having a good time. He's just worn out. Now, you can see right here that the image is all under there. And you can see the texture of the paper. But I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of glue right here on the top, because this was not quite completely glued when I started sanding. What I'm going to do is take a rag, and I had a rag right here. With my little handy dandy rag. Where'd it go? Here it is. I had a bandana rag. And I have it just a smidge wet, and I'm going to rub. Now, some of it will go ahead and come off with that. Some of it, if you use just a little bit of smudge, like I'm using my nail and kind of doing that, it'll come off. Now, if any of it sticks really good, you might want to get like some soap and water and do, you know, remember this is paper back here, but give it a little better rub. But you don't want to immerse it because it's paper, people. So the edges you can get off with the sanding, but you don't want to sand the top because you don't want to scratch it up. So try not to let that sit too long, because the longer it sits, the more it sticks completely to your acrylic pieces. So now, if you like things in acrylic, I flipped through my group's work to see real quick what they had been working on. And one of them had molded a tile with the AMP, Amazing Mold Putty. And she took and she stacked in this tile a whole bunch of goodies. Some, you know, different pieces of, it looked like maybe some fabric and some little trinkety things and stuff, and made a collage in that mold. It was very cool. You need to go check that out if you haven't checked that out. But anyway, here's this. I like how that looks, and you can see I got the sticky off. I'm going to let it finish drying, and then you can come in later with your pokey tool or whatever and poke a hole there. So, and same here. This one has the same idea. So, if you need to sit and watch me sand, I'll sand them all, but I'm going to sand this one, and then we're going to call it, I got this. Unless somebody types me a quick note to let me know otherwise. And see what this does when I'm sanding. You see how where I cut is kind of rough around that edge. When I sand it, it makes it nice and pretty like that on this end, because I've sanded over here. Now you can, if you don't have digital images, you can do this with your stamped images. You can do this with photographs like I told you earlier. You can do this with drawings, with pieces of wrapping paper, or pieces of scrapbook paper. I really like doing it with scrapbook paper because usually I'll have other papers that match that, and I can coordinate another card or a layout or something with that, because these are very light and they don't take up a whole lot of space, and they just really look fun on pages. Because see, I can poke my hole in here and tie a little ribbon through it or something, and that would be cute on a 4th of July layout or on a card or as a necklace piece. If you do it as jewelry, I always recommend doing something with the back. Okay? So there's a fun crafty thing. Using up your bits of stuff. Y'all want to see something very amusing, because it was not going my way and I kept trying to put stuff on it and it still was not going my way. I am. Y'all are gonna laugh, okay? I started with a washer and my crepe paper that I got from the Dollar Tree that's got red, white, and blue. So it's over here on this side. And I bunched that up. And then I started adding buttons and bits of ribbon and different things. And I just wasn't feeling it. I'm still not feeling it. But I'm showing you this because everybody has moments of crafting like this. Where you keep putting stuff on and you keep thinking, well, if I put another button on, or yeah, this just didn't work, guys. It just didn't work. It's bad. It's very bad. You know, sometimes things they just don't work. It happens. So, you know when to say no. I knew this would not work. I did not put it on my project. I can't think of anything it will work for. I'm gonna recover my beads. I've got some little fabric beads here, and I'm gonna recover my buttons. But then the rest of it's going in the garbage because, wow, that's ugly. That's ugly. It happens. Not often, but it happens. So, okay. I want to show you also the card that I worked on last night. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. There it is. Isn't this fun? You see how the background is? That is a new stamp from Sandra Strait. And y'all know how I like to stalk Sandra, because she does the most amazing Zentangles. Here's what the stamp looks like. This is on one of the new plates from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. And this is really cool because it's got several of her own personal tangles in it that she has created. I know this one she's created. It's some of her steampunk ones. And this one she's created. I think this chain one is one she's created that goes around here. And these are lots of fun. But this is done on a product called Chrome Coat. Got KROMECOTE. And it's a very, very shiny paper. Very shiny white. You know how I like my white paper that's shiny. And it has I believe it has clay in it. If Susan's in the room or Dee Dee's in the room, they can talk to you more about that. But I want to show you this because this is kind of fun. And I made this up last night and it worked. And I love it. What I used was my Versamark pad. And today I want to use bronze. I used copper penny on that one, but today I want to use bronze. And I'm going to get one of my new background stamps. Because I want to use my new background stamps. I want to use this one. This is also a Sandra Strait one. This one's a little bit smaller than the other one, and that's okay. We can stamp it twice. And my thing here. I think this would be fun with snowflakes too, but I don't want to do blue today. I want to do bronze. So I'm gonna use this one. And let me condition that stamp real quick before I get too carried away. When you have brand new stamps, you should always take a moment to condition them. Doesn't matter what you use to condition them with. I usually use a black ink pad, or this one will work. But the reason you want to do this is because it hasn't ever been stamped before, which is, you know, part of the whole joy of having a brand new stamp, right? You get to be the one to stamp it. But the rubber needs to have some time with some ink on it. Versamark is fine for doing that. Like I said, a black ink pad would be fine. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just checking to make sure when I stamped it, it all stamped evenly. And I don't know if you can see it because it is a watermark pad, but it did. So now I'm ready to stamp on my chrome coat. Now, because this is slicky, you want to step down and pull up. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this first. Excuse me. You want to stamp down and pull up. Now, I did this. I don't know why I stamped that. Don't ask me. Other than to condition it. Because I'm going to come back on with a black pad. Alright. Can you see? By doing it the way I did, you see the edges of the pad. You can see kind of the geometric shape of that. If you can't see it, guys, somebody please inbox me. Or not inbox me, but text me. Nobody's texting me. So, you can see that I pressed and stamped. I didn't smear. I pressed. So, now I want to take my soft brush and my bronze. Here's my bronze. Yummy. Yummy bronze. And, oh, somebody is texting me now. Who could it be? We see it. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you. Okay, taking my fluffy brush, and I'm going to put some bronze in the cap because it'll be easier for me because I don't want it just dumped on here. I want to do this. I want to pounce. And by pouncing, it starts to pick up onto the Versamark. Okay? You could get carried away and get really super pouncy like that. But I like to be not so super pouncy. I think this would be fun to do with different colors. Like, you know, have a blend your colors on here. Not just have one solid color like I'm doing now, but have a couple of different steampunk colors, or a couple of different pearl colors like the pinks and the blues or something like that. Okay. So you can see that some places, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to just lightly brush. I still am not attacking it very heavily. Okay. Some places are lighter than others. Alright. But you can see the shape of the pad. It makes a real interesting background. And that's just Versamark pad and a mixer with a little brush. And you can see here where I had stamped the Versamark. that it's picked up that also. Let me stamp this extra Versamark off. And now I'm taking a black memories pad and applying it to my image. Okay. And I'm going to stamp right onto this. I'm going to stamp and lift. I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to reapply another coat of ink on here. And I'm going to lift, stamp, and lift. And this is going to go off the edge, and that's okay. There we go. Okay. Now, if you look, some of this looks like it has gone under the powder, like in that area. And some of it looks like it's on top. It's a very interesting kind of look to it all. We're going to let this sit for just a second. Just a quick second. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to buff it off. I know, we just stuck it on there, now we're going to buff it off. And I want you to see something, because let's start on this side, because this is the first one. Part of your black will smear just a little, but not a whole lot. See how that's doing? It's like it's starting to scrape away, right? So what you want to do is rub a little harder. And I rubbed pretty hard, I will admit it. I was very aggressive in my rubbing last night. And the copper penny soaked in more and stained this more. I want you to see where I've rubbed off how it's just kind of making it look distressed. It's a rubbed, distressed look. And it's really kind of fun. Like I said, the copper penny stained it darker. This is the bronze. It's not doing as dark of a stain. And I rubbed just as hard. In some places, it's not going to come off as much because there's more or less of something there that keeps it there. But in other places, it'll come off better. And you can rub till you like it. Or where you know you're going to trim. Like I would probably trim along the edge of that, so I probably wouldn't keep rubbing there. But it'll have dark places, and it'll have a little bit of the bronze grunge in there. Isn't that fun? And it just looks kind of aged and kind of distressed, but yet it's still as smooth as can be. Is what's crazy. And I love the shine you have on there. And so then you can just go back over it and stamp something, whatever you want. Use this as a background. It lightens the background. It wouldn't have been that light if I had stamped it directly. Because, like, look here. This is where some of it stayed on top. And so, let me show the card again. So this is with the copper. The copper, like I said, did a better job of staining. And so then this, I just stamped back on top of it with the memories ink. But this underneath, I did the same kind of technique of blotting it, doing stuff. And I probably had a little more time between things to sit. So I imagine if I let this sit a little longer, more of it would soak in there. because I do believe there is some clay in the surface of the paper that allows it to do that. But I thought that was kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? She asks of our now sparkly phone. No? Nice. I hope that's nice. She says nah. Or maybe it's no. As in no questions. Well, if there are no questions, I want to go back to what I was playing with last night. Before we ended. Which is... Are you ready? Ready to see if we stuck it together? There we go. Isn't that fun? Thank you, Amanda. Got no questions. Okay. I had spritzed, if you recall, some of the smooch spritz on here. And I was about to take a smaller piece of punchinella and do something with it. And I was thinking of spritzing, but in light of my fun that I have been having with my Versamark pad and the mixers, I think what I'm going to do instead is do the punchinella and rub in some colors there. So I'm going to go across this. I'm going to go on this side where I don't have very many of the positive shapes. I have the negatives. And I'm going to, I think I'm just going to go down this edge. Again, pressing. And the punchinella is working into the holes, and it did a very good job. Let me see. Can you see? Isn't that cool? Okay. And so now, instead of using bronze, I want to go with my purple pearl and grab some of that. And there's going to be a little bit of bronze in there. It's going to be okay. I'm really cool with that. And I'm just going to pounce. You can, you don't have to have such a floopy brush like this. You can have a little bit better brush. Okay, this is very cool looking. I don't know if y'all can see the polka dots coming out. If you do not have mixers and you have just Pearl X, this will do the same thing. And it will do something similar with Perfect Pearls also. But I would not waste my Perfect Pearls doing this. I would do this with just some plain mica powders, not something that already has a binding agent in it. But that's pretty cool looking. Wait, picked up the polka dots. Now the question becomes, could we, and I don't know why we couldn't, rub this over here. I'm rubbing the side that I stuck, you can't see, I'm rubbing the side that I stuck my bursa mark on. It's on the underside, so I was rubbing it like this. And you can kind of see, I can kind of see the remnants of it, so that when I dust, this will probably be very light. I think a cool brush for doing this would be like a brush that you would get fingerprints from. So if you have a cop friend in your life that would share stuff like that with you. And that it worked. It's very, very subtle. Let's see if it'll pick it up. It's very, lots of sparkle there. Hang on. Let me see. It's very, very subtle, but I think you can see it. Maybe in between the green. See it? Kind of, sort of. It's there. So we have that going. And I think what I want to add to this, I told you I want to do my sayings, but I still want to do some levels of stuff on this. And I really love how the doilies stamped. So I think I want to stamp some doilies. On here. So let me change stamps real quick. And pick up my doilies. And there are 3 doilies. And then a lace oval. I'll show you the lace oval. Here's the lace oval. I don't want to use the lace oval today. I want to use the doilies. Let me show you these 3 doilies. These are amazing. There's the big one. And see all the detail in there? Isn't that yummy? Very scrumptious. Here is the middle one. Lots of fun detail there. Very nicely etched. And then here is the little one. Isn't that cool? Okay. And I'm going to use my acrylic block. And I'm going to go ahead and stick all 3 of them on here. Like so. And for my ink, I think I want to use one of the new inks. Would y'all like to see the new inks? The new summer inks? Because they're really very pretty. There is Picked Raspberry, Mowed Lawn, and Salty Ocean. And I've already got some pink and some green going on, so I'm going to use the Salty Ocean. And I'm going to layer on here maybe I'm not. Yes, I am. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to keep moving these around. Sorry, guys. I think I'm going to go that way. There we go. I'm going to layer on here on top of the edges because I'm going to come back into the middle and put my sayings that I want to print. Look how beautifully those stamp up. And see, you couldn't see all the detail in that one earlier when I was just holding it up for you. But look how pretty those are. Aren't those fabulous? Okay. So I want to start down here, and I want to go off the page. And I like using the distressed ink because of how it reacts with the other mediums. So the fact that it's reacting and kind of not giving you all of the image there, I'm okay with that. And it's not because it's a faulty image. It's because of how the distress ink reacts with the other stuff that's on this page. Okay? So, please, please, please know that. And here, I'll prove it. I'll show you on a plain piece of paper. Okay, here's a plain piece of paper. There's nothing on this one. And see, aren't these pretty? I remember I'm still stamping with the distressed ink, so that's not what's causing some of the lightness and stuff in there. And I'm stamping on top of a bulky art album. But does that make sense to anybody? I hope so. I just don't want people to think that these don't stamp beautifully, because they do. And I can't wait to do a bunch of distressing and resist techniques with these. These are going to be so cool. So. And like I said, this is because of all the arting on this, and it's serving a purpose of texture, visual texture, not. I'm not stamping it for doily's sake. I'm stamping it for visual texture's sake. There, that's what I'm trying to say. Art journals are a tricky thing. They really are. Don't you know? Does anybody have any questions? If you want to know what plate these are on, they are in the they're on the tag that I made for the blog hop, and so that is on the Viva Las Vegas blog, and you can go check out which plate they're on there, because I don't remember off the top of my head, or somebody can type that in if they want the doily stamps, because these are really yummy. Okay. I like how that's coming together around there. Yes, yes. So y'all want to see real quick the colors for the month? This is the summer colors. Here's the blue. And it's called Salty Ocean. And then let's stamp some pink doilies. Here is the pickled raspberry. I just love the names of these. These are so pretty. And there's the matching re-inkers also are in the store, in Mommy's store. And she has the re-inkers for all of the seasons. So if you're collecting the seasons, she has those. Aren't these cool? Is that beautiful? That is the pickled raspberry. And here is the mowed lawn. I think it's silly that they called it mowed lawn instead of mown lawn. Like it's M-O-W-N. Did you mow today? Yes, I have mown. Oh no, that sounds weird too. Oh well. Mowed lawn. There we go. So there's mowed lawn. It looks like grass. Isn't that cool? Aren't those such beautiful colors? Need to take a picture of this and show the somebody was asking about the colors and how they were, and yeah, I need to take a picture of that and send it to her, because then she'll want the doilies, because the doilies are really pretty too. So lovely new colors. Love, love, love. Okay, so going back to my page. So here we go. This is what we've got going on there. I'm gonna zap it with my heat tool. Are y'all ready? Ready for heat tool? Does anybody have any questions? Those of you who are lucky to chat. Oh, I was telling you they were doing the polar bear, and how Will was very tired of water. One of the texts I got this morning, besides the breaking of the glasses, was that that today it was declared was the coolest polar bear day ever, because there's some bats that hang out at the pool, and they were dive bombing the pool to catch bugs, and the boys were trying to see how possibly still they could be to see how close the bats would get to them, and they thought that was the best ever. Okay, here, let's see if you can see that. You see where all those textures merge and the different colors. I love that. It's very cool looking in there. How do I store my ink pads, right side up or upside down? Honestly, it doesn't matter. According to Tim, he says that it does not matter. When I first got these, I was so used, and you can see how old this one is and how worn on the edges and stuff. I was so used to my close to my heart pads and my Stampin' Up! Pads, and I always told you to do them upside down. So as you see, my words are so that they are upside down, right? But when we were talking and learning from him, he said that it stays in a suspension in this pad. And so the idea of storing them upside down so all of your ink is down is false. So whether or not it's false, I don't know. All I know is since I had started labeling mine upside down, they're all upside down. And I really don't think that it does anything to them being upside down. I mean, the ink is always on top. It's just habit. For me, like I said, I've got most of mine already labeled upside down, so they're upside down. But he himself, the guy who developed pads, he himself said, you do not have to store them upside down. So one day when I have time and money and want to reprint all of my labels and relabel them all, maybe I will go in and flip them the other way. But I'm not going to do that today because, well, 90% of them are labeled the other way. But some of my ink pads I do still turn upside down. And I think it's more of a habit because what he said really does make sense. That, ink is not that. It's not like taking a sponge. Well, it is like taking a sponge. Okay, think about it. You have a sponge, you fill it full of water. Yes, some water flows on through. But if you just leave the sponge there, it still holds the water. Is all the water down in the bottom? No. It's in the sponge. It's suspended in the sponge. It fills all the cells of the sponge. So, I guess that's, what you're raised with. Like I said, the first times, the first things I learned about stamps and stamping was to turn them upside down. That's the person who did the first art stamping stamps that I ever purchased were from close to my heart. And she said, turn them upside down. And in fact, they developed a pad that turned it upside down for you. You could stack them right side up and the pad was upside down. So, I hope that answered the question. And I think even the Stampin' Up! Ones, because when you flip it, they end up upside down too. So, somebody thought they needed to be upside down. I don't think they necessarily have to anymore. But there you go. How do you store your pads? Right side up or upside down? That is the question. Somebody got into my pens and moved them around, whatever that could be. It's probably me. So, anyway, what time do we have? We are at 9:30. I think I want to do a little doodling. Y'all want me to doodle for a while? Let's doodle for a while. Let's doodle, because I wanted to do some doodling in here. I wanted to do some edging with doodles. So, are y'all good with that? Anybody not good with that? Amanda, you gonna ask? I have no answers to if anybody's not good with that. Making sure I'm going the right way. Yes, this is right set up. Okay, while I'm thinking about this, because this page, if you'll recall, I'm going to remind myself about words and how people make you feel and that kind of thing. So part of tangling and Zentangle in specific is you're tangling with a purpose. It's a meditation. So while I'm doing this, and I wanted to say that because there's a difference between doodling and Zentangle. And while I'm working on this page, I'm trying to keep in my head that idea that this is about, people will will, you know, forgive you for your actions and your shortcomings, but they'll always remember how you feel. And words help, you know, words make you feel certain ways. So that's kind of the gist of while I'm tangling. I'm keeping that in my mind, and forefront in my mind also is, you know, be kind, be generous, be truthful, you know, use integrity, those kinds of things. So that's what's in my mind while I'm doing this. And I love that this pen does not want to write on this paper. There we go. Let's see what we have. I'm going to try my Stidler, see if it wants to write on here. Ah, yes, good. Good pen. My Bic Market did not want to write on here. It said no thank you, because it was trying to write over a combination of Smooch and of Versamark and of mixers. And when your pen does this, see how this one is, it had issue there for a minute. Stop and rub it on a regular piece of paper, because it's telling you, I don't like all that pigment and stuff on my pen. So, and what I've done is I've just kind of outlined around that, because that's where I want to tangle, and I may go back over it with another Bic Market real quick over that line to give it just a little more definition. Okay. And I'm going to do some of that along the edge here where things kind of get smushed together. And these spaces here, I can re-emphasize the circles if I want to with some more circles. And like up here, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to, because these are so defined up here. Let me pull that down a little bit so you can see that just a smidge better. Right in there. Okay. And this is not really a particular, it's not a particular tangle, it's just me doodling on that one spot. I'm really just kind of tracing around the Punchnella square or circles. There. Now, in the negative spaces around the circles, I'm going to draw some little lines here. I hope everyone is having a brilliant, brilliant summer so far. This is my last crafty gig for June. We'll be going into July's crafty gigs. But there's one more Friday in June, and that is next Friday, and we will have an odd show next Friday, and it will be at the Paper Mood Lounge. So if one of you has a way to type, I don't know if you can or not, I believe there's a link on one of the slides I'm going to show you here towards the end. Okay, and so I've kind of filled in the spaces, the voids in between, with a crosshatch. And then I'm going to come in and do some little shading. It's kind of like a shade, but it's not really a shade. It's just some fun doodles that I like to make here on the edges. And I think this has a name. If Carrie's available, she can tell you. It's kind of like a marble thing. What I'm doing is Carrie, it's kind of like if you're in there, it's like a letter I, and then putting some lines to the left and to the right of the I, and it's on the edge of the circle. But I don't know what the name of it is. I just like it. It's kind of fun. It doesn't really, I mean, that's how you fill in the insides of the marbles on some of them, but you wouldn't have done the cross hatching on the sides. You would have just had marbles in there, no cross hatching. So there's one more. There we go. Let me show you. Closer. See them? They're kind of fun, huh? Alright. And now I want to move down into this little section here. And I want to do some fun like a woven pattern in here. And the easiest way to do that is with dots. And you could get your ruler out and measure your dots if you wanted to. That's not very Zentangly. I'm just going to go for it. That's more Zentangly. I have I'm going to do a couple of rows here where you can see my dots. And you can see how not even they are. And that's okay. It's okay that they're not even. It's not about being even. It's about thinking about your purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. It's about breathing and relaxing. Your intent. See? Can you see my little black dots? They're there. Okay? They're nothing special. They're just little black dots. And they're going to form the grid for my my tangle that I'm going to do. But this tangle needs a grid. I've talked to you before about some of them needing grids. This is one that needs a grid. And this is one of my favorites, actually, because it's very simple, but it has a very big impact. It's cool. I like it. And I love the impact. If you looked at my cards that I put up this weekend for Viva Las Vegas stamps, the ATCs that I did with the Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Say No Evil, Speak No Evil, I did this on the background of one of those. That's how much I love this. And I want it in this little outcropped area that I've sectioned off. And so I am putting it here. So while I'm thinking about it, things to remember is this week on Thursday is Amanda's Who Are You Calling Crafty Live at 8 Central, 9 Eastern on her AJ Arts stream. No show on Friday unless somebody just all of a sudden decides they want to do one, and then they can do that. And then on Saturday there will be no show. Oh, wait a minute. Also on Friday is the Odd Show Daily, and it'll be Dawn on Friday. And then there's no show on Saturday or Sunday this week. And it seems like Fab is doing Paper Mood at a different time. Or did. If somebody will post that. I'm sorry, Fab. I did not. I know Fab has got company. And so that's why he's not doing that on Sunday. My funny people all come back on Saturday. I've missed them. So I will be glad to see them. And tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow I will announce on my blog who won who won this Scrappy Challenge. I was going to stream randomly on Sunday, but had some family business I had to take care of. So I will probably finish at some point for you on a random stream my first pages from my wedding album that I was working on. Right now I don't know exactly when. Like I said at the beginning, I wrote down a list of what I've got to do for the next 2 weeks for projects, for a bunch of blog hops and things that I have going in my life. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be a very busy girl is what I'm going to be doing. So, you know, please watch my blog, because apparently there's a lot going on there. And so let me show you this up close before I finish going down through there like that. But isn't that cool how it looks woven? So much fun. And I like how it just kind of peeks out through there. I've been watching Sandra, and she puts down her colors before she puts her tangles when she does a lot of her stuff, and that really is kind of cool to me. I was thinking some of her stuff she was doing, she was tangling and then coloring, but she was letting the color lead the tangle. So I'm tangling a la Sandra tonight, I guess. And I've gotten into a spot here that is very heavily it's got a lot of powders and stuff on it. And when you try to clean off your pen in an area that also has a lot of powders on it, your pen says, "What are you doing?" So I'm kind of cleaning off my pen here on this side. We'll see that. it loops out, so that loops in, and that loops that way, which makes this loop that way. I'm trying to get the transition over to here so it will look right further down the road. There we go. So this is just a matter of doing, you know, inlines and outlines, you know, have them curve in and curve out, concave, convex lines in between this substrate that you've created. I've completely lost that pen at this point. Let's try this pen and maybe a little bigger, but we'll see. And then wherever you've done out, you come back and do in to the horizontal. So if your verticals are in, your horizontals are out. And if your horizontals are out, if your horizontals are, wherever you have done horizontals in, your verticals are out. If you've done horizontals out, your verticals are in. Does that make any sense? Let's pretend it does. Like I said, this has got a lot of different mediums here that's making these pens not want to color on these. And this is where mixed media artists get a lot of different pens, because if this pen doesn't work, then maybe that pen will work. And if that pen doesn't work, maybe this pen will work. This is also why I just bought a new set of these. It's because I also think part of it is I've been using these for over a year, and they are probably tired. So, but I still like the way that came out down through there, because it's like some of the mixer and the mediums and stuff are taking over the actual making of the tangle. There we go. I like that. Kind of disappears in there. So I hope y'all like that. I'm going to section off a couple of more spots where I want to do a little bit of tangling in. A little crop out right there, maybe. And then down here, there'll be a big section right in here. And I may come back and put another, looking down here, I may come back and put another little doily right there because of how that did right in there. So that I don't have all this big room right there. So that's how I I plan to fill in some of that along the edges and stuff. Might be kind of fun. I don't expect them to all be the same kind of tangles in through here. Just kind of some different little outcrops. Give some emphasis to that. And then I may come through here and make like a little bordery kind of twirly one before I start putting the words on there. So I'm liking how that's going. I hope you do too. So I'm going to move my in-between sheet here. And I'm going to show you a couple of slides. I guess if anybody has any questions, Amanda will type them in before I go bye-bye. Sorry, it's kind of weird streaming with y'all kind of being blind like this, isn't it? So let me share some stuff with you. Cut and paste memories is where I get all of my fun supplies. Mommy carries the ink pads that I played with, and my glues and adhesives and all that kind of fun stuff. And she has the 3D crystal lacquer if you need that, and lots of cool stuff. I need to get myself, I'm going to keep using a lot of Viva Las Vegas stamps. I need to get me one of those up here too, don't I? Scrappy challenge. I'm going to announce who won the last one tomorrow on my blog. It'll be in the evening. I'm going to announce it probably about 6 or 7 o'clock. So if you're playing along, you'll want to be sure, because also tomorrow is my Digital Delights new challenge coming up with the Digital Delights challenge team. So that will be up in the morning. Actually, it'll be up in a couple hours here. And then you'll want to be sure to check later in the evening for the Scrappy Challenge. Also, please don't forget to go by and check out the blog hop that's going on right now. It's really cool. I ran through it, and I literally mean ran through it. You need to go check out everybody's posts. There's, I believe, 11 of us this time, and 2 stores are represented, and it's just really cool. I love it. If you're ever interested in doing that, please hop on over to my blog. I have on my blog, or well, not on my blog, I have on my Facebook fan page, Leslie Ray's fan page, I have a direct link to all the blog hops I plan to have for the year. And we have another one even next week called Wedded Bliss, which is for celebration of my wedding. I'll be married 20 years. Jen was married 20 years today. So I'll be married 20 years next week. And I have a blog hop. If you're not already in it and you want to be in it, you can still be in it. Our posts will go live on I believe the 27th is the day I set it for. And we will be celebrating love and happiness. So please join us. Crafty Gig is normally the 2nd and 4th Friday of the month. This special week is a special presentation since I will be gone this Friday. I'm also a member of the Odd Show, and we do dailies and reboots and special events. Our reboot is normally about 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, and is usually on a Wednesday. At least it has been for a while because of baseball. I'm sure next week it will be on a Wednesday. But it's just a random day of the week, and we have a lot of fun. Our dailies for the summer schedule are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, 11 Central. You can find more information on our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/theoddshowlive, I believe. And our blog is theoddshowlive.blogspot.com, and there's more information there. And we always stream in the Paper Mood Room, which is where Fab does his fabulous show. One of the events we have coming up is World Card Making Live. This is our 2nd time to do World Card Making Live. we are very excited. We have lots of great demoers lined up, and we're getting all kinds of wonderful donations. And we're going to stream live for several hours on October 6th. And that's the first Saturday of October, and I hope you join us. My Scrappy gig is every third Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, on this same channel. And we will, of course, meet again in July and have a wonderful Scrappy gig. Just reminding you one last time, go check it out. Go check it out. I hope everybody had a good time. I know there was lots of fun randomness going on today. But that's just kind of how my week has been with my kidlets out of town. And I've had lots of fun randomness. So since I can't see if y'all have any questions, I apologize sincerely. I hope y'all have a good night. Stay out of trouble. I plan to. And I will chat with you next week. Take care, guys. Thank you for coming.